Hi there, Mark Jabin here, Medical Director for the Haywood County Health Department, and let's talk about this pandemic. Time for our weekly update. And in this video, numbers from the past week which will show that cases have plateaued at a decreased level. So this is being recorded on Saturday morning, so please share this video with someone that you care about. Across the country, cases are down, although as you can see here, still at high levels. And note how in this graph the red areas have now migrated towards the Midwest. Here in North Carolina, cases looked to bump up last week, but this week seem to be headed back down again. Total cases here in Haywood County since the start of the pandemic is now 546. That's an addition of 25 cases from last Friday. Silver Bluff has not had a new case this past week, and the hospital continues with no new cases related to its cluster. We are, however, following a couple of local businesses here that have multiple cases, not yet reaching the threshold of a cluster, but includes customers who also apparently were infected at those places of business. The COVID number further lower this week compared to last week, currently all the way down to 81. But note that this has bounced up from the midweek low at 61. Those positive and isolated this week, it was 43 a week ago and reached a new low at the end of this week of 31. So that's getting us close back to where we were in mid-June as we continue our downward trend, and that's actually really good. Remember that hospitalizations lag cases, deaths lag hospitalizations, and in North Carolina, hospitalizations continue to look pretty flat. Here in Haywood County, hospitalizations related to COVID remain low, and in Haywood County, no new deaths this past week. The 7-day average of new cases, remember below 6 is good, the goal is below 1, and continues lower for our neighbors, although they are still considerably higher than we are. Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee between 15.8 and 19.4. And note Florida at only 12.7 now. Haywood County, we are at 4.8, and again reflects the plateau that we're seeing here. North Carolina this week down to 12.2, which gets it out of the red zone area. Jackson remains about the same. Swain and Macon back to being quite low. Graham 2 weeks ago was at 3.4, now almost up to 39. And that's largely due to a nursing home outbreak there. Buncombe down a bit and Henderson just up a bit, but still in a pretty good space. The percent positive of tests, 5% is the important threshold. For North Carolina, that's been steadily lower slowly over the past few weeks, now down to about 5.3%. For Haywood County, we remain around 4% of those tested being positive. Our current community prevalence, again below 5 to 7 per thousand is good, and we appear to now be down to about 1.3 per thousand. So, what do we learn from this past week? Well, the good trend continues. We are now a week past Labor Day, and let's hope that the increase in the COVID number from our midweek low is not a predictor of what's to come. We'll find out about this over the next week or so. So as always, don't lose sight of what's necessary. It only takes 2 dance steps. First, avoid being in close contact with anyone. That happens when you are within 6 feet for more than 15 minutes without a face cover. The more you're in close contact, the more risk you're taking on. So avoid crowds, whether out and about or with family, and when you just cannot, please be careful to wear a face covering. Dance step number 2, avoid giving it to somebody else. If you get infected, carefully isolate. And if you find yourself in close contact, honor the quarantine that's recommended. Don't give the virus a chance to jump from you to them, especially someone you care about. So let's all dance well and give us all a chance to preserve reopening 2.5, get in-person classrooms open and remaining open, and so we don't have to live so much in the shadow of this virus. So be well and be careful, especially right now.